28th March 2022, and today I'm in Harare. I'm going to be here for a while. So I'm going to be giving you, as usual, an update of the news in Harare. The newspapers here in Harare, I've got today the Herald, I've got the Daily News, I've got the Newsday. So very, very interesting newspapers today, because we just had the by-elections and all the newspapers are leading with the by-elections. So if you look here, let's start with the Herald. Herald is leading with the story, ZANU-PF wrestles seats from the opposition. So if you look at this newspaper, what they're saying is that ZANU-PF won 2 seats from the CCC or from the MDC alliance, which is Mutasa South and Epworth. This was significant. And I think what is even more significant is what happened in Binga. ZANU-PF had almost 7,000 votes in Binga. They almost got that seat from my brother, Dube Kosmanda. It was very, very close. Then there's also the issue of Zach Prob's Kaufman estate ownership. This is a property in Mbare. This property is being disputed. So the owner died about 85 years ago. Very interesting newspaper. There's a lot here. And I think what I would do is that I'll go through this newspaper in terms of tenders at some other times. Then if you look at the sports, Dynamo's perfect 4 for Dynamos. Dynamos has been unbeaten since the beginning of the season. That is what is in this newspaper. I think this is the interesting news here in the newspaper. So everyone leading with the elections, ZANU-PF doing very well in terms of getting their seats from the CCC that were in the opposition. Now they're with ZANU-PF. And then if you look at the sports, at the entertainment, Makadzi was in Botswana. Makadzi is the South African musician. She filled up a stadium with 20,000 people this weekend. This is the story here. And then Baba Harare, My Titi are going to rock theater in the park. Then there is a comment here by Masimba Mawaza, a commentary. Chamisa BT and CCC manifestly lack patriotism. That is the commentary here. And then in terms of adverts, there is a public notice here by the IPEC, that is Insurance and Pensions Commission. They're saying implementation of the Freedom of Information General Regulations. So that is this big advert here. You can go to the IPEC website, you will see the details. So that is the Herald. They are leading with ZANU-PF taking 2 seats from CCC, from Chamisa, that is Mutasa and Epworth. And then I think ZANU-PF won a lot of other local by-elections, if I'm not mistaken, more than 12 from CCC. Then let's go to Newsday. Newsday is the opposition paper owned by Trevor Ngube. So this newspaper is saying Chamisa makes a big post statement. So let's make it center here. That is Newsday. So the recently formed Citizens Coalition for Change, led by Nelson Chamisa, shocked the MDC alliance of Monzora by grabbing 22 National Assembly seats out of 28. If you remember, Monzora is the one who recalled Chamisa's people. So Monzora got 0 seats. And this is quite embarrassing for him. And then let's go to sports. Dimbare's double delight. Everyone is talking about Dynamos. Dynamos is winning. So Dynamos beat Harare City 2-0. And they've been unbeaten since the beginning of the season. Then we've got the insert here. I just want to show you the insert. The newspaper here is very high quality. TV 1,000 higher. That's the insert that they have here of, sorry man, I keep putting this on the side. This is the Easter special. They've got for sale sofas. Sofas are $659,000. That's $659,000 for sofas. The prices are quite high. And let's look at a TV. let's go to the TVs here. These are the TVs here. The Hisense TV, the most popular TV here. It's a 58-inch. It's going for 169,000. And a bed is going for 106,000. I don't know how much these amounts are. What I know is that if you put $100 on the black market, it's about 200,000. So if you put 20,000. If you put 20,000 here, it's about $500 for a bed, $500 US. And for this TV here, if you put 20,000 here, I think that would be about $800 for this TV here. $800 is quite high in terms of South African standards. They've got high quality TVs, furniture. Zimbabwe furniture is very good. So that is the insert here. TV sells and higher. That's the insert in the Newsday. And then in entertainment, if we go to page 14, there's entertainment here. And they're talking about it was pomp and fanfare as top local dance artists Killer T, Freeman, and Say Colors delivered priceless performances at the packed Weres Park in Glenview 1 in Harare. So this is the performance that they had for Killer T. And they lead with Chamisa, makes a big statement, defeating Douglas Monzora totally. And Monzora is not going to come back from this one. There is going to be a lot of action because I told you already, MPs have already been leaving Monzora, going to Chamisa secretly. People who support Mzuri have already gone. This loss is going to be devastating for Douglas Monzora. But when it comes to the opposition, as you saw the Herald leading with the fact that ZANU-PF has taken seats from CCC in Mutasa and Epworth, and also in many local authorities. And the numbers that ZANU-PF has been bringing, the way they challenge the CCC in the cities, and also in places like Matabele in the south, where ZANU-PF won all their seats. ZANU-PF did not lose. So this is very interesting. We're going to have this discussion tonight with Senator Kalipani Pugeni and my brother, Dr. Fedias Mteneri. In the evening, we'll have a discussion. And I'm talking from Harare. This is, as I said last year, we're going to be doing more and more things from Harare. In fact, my plan is we should do most of our work from here in 2023 during the elections. Now, let's look at the Daily News. Here's the Daily News. Rocky road ahead for Zim opposition. So this is the Daily News. As ZANU-PF gains 2 MPs, CCC is now in parliament. So respected independent analysts say the result of Saturday's by-elections show that the country's opposition has a tough job on its hands if it is to dent ZANU-PF's dominance of local politics in the 2023 national elections. So what this newspaper is saying, if I was to interpret it a bit, is that on the ground, it's showing that the opposition is maintaining where it was and losing a bit, but it's not gaining. So there was nothing surprising here. All these seats belong to the opposition. The surprise is that ZANU-PF was able to get these seats back from the opposition. Mutasa South, you know the work that Regai Tsunga has done in Mutasa. Regai Tsunga, the most hard-working MP, but he lost. Epworth, I think there's outrage there. He lost. And when these guys lose, they are losing to ZANU-PF in areas where you don't expect them to lose. Binga, it was so close. I was surprised at how ZANU-PF got 7,000 votes in Binga. There is a lot of work being done by ZANU-PF. And let's see what happens as the time goes on. Obviously, I'll give you my analysis in the evening of what I think about the elections, the by-elections. There's a lot to take from these by-elections, and we'll talk about it in the evening. Then Victoria Falls World Heritage status hangs in the balance. There are fears that the Victoria Falls could be delisted as a World Heritage Site following massive constructive activities either side of the Zambezi River. Guys, I came from Bulawayo. What is happening in this country is amazing. The way people are building. If you drive on the Harare roads, that Bulawayo Harare road, the amount of filling stations that are there, the amount of malls that are coming up. I was at Gweru. I was shocked to see a new mall that I did not know has come up near the roundabout. Every town you go into, there's new construction taking place. As you drive into Harare, lots of new filling stations like Glow. If you go to Bulawayo, filling stations like Flow. So this construction that is taking place, it's being done by guys in the diaspora. And it has also gotten to Vic Falls. There's a lot of construction taking place in Vic Falls. And this construction is threatening the World Heritage Site status of the Vic Falls, because there's just too much construction taking place. It's becoming an urban area instead of becoming a tourist area. Now let's look at the spot. Obviously, everyone is leading with Dynamos. Dynamos doing very, very well. Dynamos continues unbeaten run. So Dynamos is doing very, very well. They've done very, very well. Let's go to sports and entertainment. So in entertainment, we've got a very interesting story here. I want to read this story. There's a lady here called Pauline, right? Pauline Gundidza, you know her. She did some work way back when local hip hop started. She's got depression. So songstress Pauline Gundidza has revealed that she has suffered from depression for several years and had to resort to medication to get relief. The mother of two, who has organized the concert meant to raise awareness on mental health on 9 April at Old Harare Sports Club in the capital, said the situation was complicated by the fact that the people around her were skeptical and unsupportive. I have suffered from depression for many years, and I understand what it's like to be mentally unwell, and people around you don't understand. So that's Pauline Gundidza. I think she was in part of Mark Freak back in 2001 when I got out of varsity, and she did very well. I think she was married to Rocky, if I'm not mistaken. So these are the stories here in the newspapers. So let me wrap it up. It is Daily News, Rocky Road ahead, for Zim opposition, Monzora, Chamisa, and the other guys, Zapu. I feel sorry for Zapu. They got nothing in Matabeleland. I do not understand how Zapu can get nothing like that. And then Chamisa makes a big statement. That is the Newsday, Trevor Ngube. And then the Herald, obviously leading with ZANU-PF, Resort sits from the opposition. This is a big win for ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF doing very, very well in these by-elections. I am surprised with what they did in the raw areas of Binga, in the raw areas of Mutasa, in Matabeleland South. I was telling you guys that Matabeleland South is problematic because what happens with Matabeleland South is that they get very, very loyal to the party, to ZANU-PF. It's going to be very difficult for Chamisa to get into that in that area and take over. But anyway, that is strategy. We'll talk about that in the evening. What is quite striking for me is the way this economy is growing. If you are not in Zimbabwe, you will not understand what I'm telling you. If you go to Bulawayo, the amount of businesses that are being developed, every space that you can take has been taken. Every corner, every business you can think about is there. Someone has come from overseas and they're doing something in Harare, in Bulawayo. If you go to Gweru, as I said, they're developing there. They've got a new mall. Especially this company called Insco, they're dominating everywhere. They've built up big takeaway shops, and there are queues everywhere. If you go to other places nearby, you see one called Chicken Slice. They're quite big. So the food industry, quite big. Hotels are coming up. Right here from where I am, there's a hotel coming up called N1 Hotel. Right opposite the Harare Polytechnic. They used to Agribank there somewhere. If you go there, there's a new big N1 hotel coming up. Everything is just new. And also on the freeway, guys are doing a lot of work there. And I know that it's diaspora guys who are doing work there. This is a strange occurrence. When you think about Zimbabwe and they're not in Zimbabwe, you don't see what I'm talking about. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a day or two here in Harare. Then I'm going to go to Kariba. Then from there, I want to go to the Eastern Highlands. Then I'll move around. I'll probably go back to Bulawayo and see what else we can see. There are lots of opportunities here. But I think guys just have too much capital. Some of the houses that I saw being built near Nast, they are humongous. I've never seen such a big house in Bulawayo. Guys are coming up and investing. I don't know how they're getting this capital. I don't know how they're getting capital for the filling station. I don't know how they're getting capital to build everything that they're building. There's a lot of construction that is going on outside of Harare. This thing is not limited to Harare. It's outside Harare also. Then we'll also obviously look at Harare. What is happening here? Whereas the issues with the macroeconomy, guys at the lower level are doing a lot. There is obviously the issues I showed you. Like when I showed you this insert here from TV sales and higher, the price levels are very high in terms of how much things cost. So I don't know how this can be addressed, because that is an issue in terms of the macroeconomics, the price stability. It needs to be addressed to make sure that we don't have these prices of a 43-inch TV going for $500, which is $7,500. When we buy the same TV in Johannesburg, I think a 43-inch TV, I can easily buy it for 4,000, somewhere there, 4,000 rands. So the prices in electronics are doubling when you're getting to Zimbabwe. Obviously, we don't make this thing here. But maybe we should be thinking about where are these guys importing from. We buy this thing from China instead of buying it from South Africa. But in terms of quality, you cannot beat Zimbabwe quality. The products that are here in Zimbabwe, everything, the food, the furniture, the hotel, the quality of the hotel where I'm staying now, there is no hotel like this quality in Johannesburg for the price that I pay here. I could easily pay 4,000 rands a night for this hotel. And then if you look at the furniture that heavy, very, very high quality. So Zimbabwe, extremely interesting country, and the guys in the diaspora are doing a great job with the investment. Also, the traffic on the road, it's massive. I drove at about midnight, Bulawayo, and the amount of trucks, mining, guys I saw walking on the road wearing mining attire, huge, big. So I think, let me look at the comments here. I'm using my phone, guys. So let's see if there's anything interesting here which I can talk about, which I can answer. Right, I don't see any interesting comment here. One-on-one, I want to look at the comment. Zimbabwe is on the rise. I want to challenge the guys who are in the diaspora to, once in a while, come to Zimbabwe. Your view of this country is going to change. And do not sit in the diaspora and do nothing. You are going to be left out. There's a lot of guys here who are investing. And you see that the status of the Big Fours, national heritage status, is being threatened by construction. Construction here is massive, happening at a massive scale. That is something that you cannot fault. Anyone can tell you construction here is happening at a scale that you cannot understand. Then let's go to Brian. I'm going to end with you. Gambago, there was not a general election. Remember that opposition will take more seats from ZANU-PF. Let's challenge you about this in 2023. There's going to be a lot happening in between. And tonight we're going to analyze that. And then the biggest opposition is MDC Monzora. Well, I hope I find Senator Monzora and talk to him. I also find the MDCT guys and hear what is their plan going forward. This was a stunning defeat. They are getting almost zeros in most of the places where they contested. ZANU-PF doing much better than MDCT. ZANU-PF much more organized. Right, then CCCC didn't have any city before, point of correction. I think let's discuss that in the evening. I want to see anyone wants to ask me any questions to do with what's happening here in Johannesburg. Okay, in Harare. So I think that is it, guys. Let me end this live now, and then tomorrow we'll also look at other things. Thank you very much, and good night. Okay, I don't think it's good night.